We know how Tua is, and the Miami Dolphins are a warm weather team. And what's crazy is that if Tua plays in degrees under 45, they're 0-4. The Miami Dolphins are 0-4. Tua's 4 touchdowns to 5 picks, 55% completion percentage, a 71.8 passer rating. Tua is an entirely different quarterback when it gets a little bit chilly. Warm weather team, warm weather players. This is not looking good. Do you think Tua and the Dolphins can overcome the cold and able to defeat the Chiefs in Arrowhead?
No way. I think the Dolphins are going to lose this game. I don't think it will be. I think it's going to be kind of low scoring game just because it's going to be so cold. The Chiefs have been there before. They played in the cold every year. They play some cold games because they always get deep into the playoffs. I think they win this game 20-13, and I think that it'll be interesting with Tyreek Hill going back to Arrowhead to play. Unfortunately, his hands are going to be frozen in this game, and I think the Dolphins they're on a skid. I mean, they lost their last 2 games. They had the chance to win last week. They lost 21-14 to the Bills with Josh Allen turning the ball over 3 times, and they still couldn't win. That's what costing them here. I mean, if they had won that game, they would have had the number 2 seed. They would have had 2 home games. It would have been warm instead of ice cold. They would have had a different opponent, and they blew it. I just think they blew it, and they've only beat 1 team with a winning record this year. So I wouldn't call them imposters, but I don't think they're a Super Bowl caliber team, and I don't think they're going to win tomorrow.
I completely agree with you, and that's actually what I have. This is my total. I have them winning 21-17, the Kansas City Chiefs. Not only does Tua play horrible in cold weather, like you mentioned before, he plays bad against teams that made or barely missed the playoffs, and teams that made it and against winning record teams. I talked about before the Bills game, they were bad. Tua this season with teams that made the playoffs. He's 1-5, 232.3 passing yards. He has 6.9 yards per pass. He has 7 touchdowns to 6 picks, a pass rating of 84.1. He is not a good quarterback when it comes to performing against good teams and teams that made the playoffs. Not only that, the Dolphins, we talked about against the Bills, right? Their running is not great. Now, early in the season, especially when they were dominant, they've been the number 1 rush and passing team and all that. So running the ball might be a way that you could succeed here because it is going to be freezing. The ball is going to be like a rock. No one's going to want to catch it. It's going to hurt. If you get tackled, it's going to hurt. You catch a ball, your hands are going to be like, just bouncing off a very solid object here. It's going to be painful. Now, the question is whether or not, because I still think Tyreek Hill is one of the most dangerous players in the NFL. When he has the ball in his hands, he can make a 5-yard completion into a 50-yard touchdown. That's just how dangerous he is.
He's also played in the cold weather in Kansas City, right?
For Kansas City
in some
as well.
big games. So
yeah.
So he's one of the players that should be able to weather that. No pun intended.
Well, the big thing there is, can he catch the ball?
Yeah, well, he's had experience. I think he's the one player they should try to take out of the game there. And as Belichick said, you got to take out the best player. Well, I'd say the Chiefs have got to be focused on him, double team him or something, because that could be the one thing that the Dolphins could do that could make a difference for them. Is with him, and Waddle is going to be back as well.
He's questionable for this play, probably, but he's probably good to go.
The running backs, the Dolphins have good running backs, but I don't know. They ever played when it's 28 below zero?
I don't think
warm
many
weather
teams
team,
have.
Very warm weather team. These guys, most of them are young. They haven't played in something like this before. This is going to be an experience for them that they probably won't want to remember.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. So my concern is with Tua because, yes, while Tyreek Hill, he's played in these conditions, he's dependent on whether or not the quarterback can get you the ball. And we saw against the Bills, Tyreek Hill threw it up to him on one of the first plays of the game, and it was an interception. It was a bad throw, bad decision, and that's what I think we're going to see from Tua in this game. Because what we saw in the last time they played, which was back in Germany, in that first half, now the score, I believe, was 21-0 or 14-0 or something like that. It looked like the Chiefs were about to go for 40. The defense just stopped the offense, stopped the Dolphins' offense entirely. The Dolphins' defense was getting run through by the Chiefs. I do think this is going to be a low-scoring game. Like I said, I'll bring up the numbers again. I do think they're going to win 21-17. You have them winning 20-13. So we each have very, very low-scoring games, and the weather is going to be a pretty big factor here because of the fact Miami, they when they play under 70 degrees, they're 6-13.
Yeah, well, Miami's defense
that's not even freezing temperature. Under 70 degrees.
Yeah, Miami's defense is all banged up too.
Right. They had to bring in Justin. They had to bring in people. They had to, they're basically going to be like a duct taped defense at this point.
Yeah, well, maybe that means that the Chiefs might score more points than we have there, but we'll see.
I just think the
weather's going to have a factor for sure.
Absolutely. I don't think there's any. I know the scores are low, and we have 1-score games each. But I don't think it's going to feel like one score. I really think it's going to be like against like in the Germany game where they were up, they shut them out at halftime. They looked like they could blow them out, and then late in the game the Dolphins had an opportunity, or they tallied on points to make the score closer. I didn't really think the Chiefs were going to lose the game in Germany, and I really don't think in this game. I know we talked about the Chiefs before and that they look like a one-and-done team. That was circumstantial because now they're going up against a team against teams that made the playoffs, the Dolphins are bad. Tua is a bad quarterback against teams with a winning record. So I think the Chiefs can win a playoff game. Then they're the 3 seed. So then they're going to be playing potentially up against the 2 seed, which then would be the Buffalo Bills, which then I think
we've seen that game before.
We've already seen it before. Yeah. Now this season, it's been redemption. Teams that lost last year, Eagles, Chiefs, Eagles won this season. Cowboys kept losing to the Eagles. The Cowboys finally won this year. We've seen teams that beat them last year win this year. We haven't seen teams that played against one another twice, really, win both games.
Plus, this game would be in Buffalo.
Right, this game would be in Buffalo. And I think that actually hurts the Bills because Josh Allen in Arrowhead is much better than at the Bills Stadium, at home. So that might hurt him, but I do think the Chiefs are going to win that game. We both agree with that. I don't know how Tua gets it done. Unless they run it 45 times and play it like the Patriots did against the Bills when Mac Jones had 3 pass attempts, I think that's the only way you have a shot. But you need Raheem Mostert to go for 150 yards. You need Achane.
He's been hurt.
To have great. Right, and he's also 31 years old. But this season, he has been a touchdown machine.
Yeah, true.
Which is great for the Dolphins. But I think this is going to be a run-heavy game. Pacheco, I think, is going to get going, and then the occasional drop off to Travis Kelce and hope he can run 15 yards after the catch per reception. And if the Chiefs can't catch the ball during the regular season when it was warmer, how is Kadarius Toney going to catch it -28?
He can't catch it. That's the weakness of the Chiefs, as we've talked about all season. Their wide receiver core is they have hands of stone.
Right.
They drop a lot of passes. They make a lot of mistakes. So that's an issue. But I still think the Chiefs are going to win.
As do I. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, if you want to check out the full episode, make sure you click the I in the top right-hand corner right now. If you want to listen to this show anywhere you go, make sure you go to anchor.fm/The Harvey Hour or anywhere you get your podcasts.